timeless voices of the Eternal Church.
Todd Beamer, United States, September 11, 2001. When President Bush addressed Congress on September 20, 2001, just 9 days after terrorists attacked America, downing the World Trade Center towers, punching a hole in the Pentagon, and slamming Flight 93 into a remote Pennsylvania field, he said, "In the normal course of events, presidents come to this chamber to report on the State of the Union. Tonight, no such report is needed. It has already been delivered by the American people. We have seen it in the courage of passengers who rushed terrorists to save others on the ground. Passengers like an exceptional man named Todd Beamer." Present in the chamber was Todd's wife Lisa, mother of their 2 children and pregnant with a 3rd. Todd Beamer, a 30-year-old dedicated Christian, had boarded the Boeing 757 for an 8 a.m. flight from Newark, New Jersey to San Francisco, but its departure was delayed. A few minutes after 9, when the late Flight 93 was finally in the air and approaching its cruising altitude, United Airlines Control radioed all its airborne pilots and warned them of potential cockpit intrusion. According to Dennis Roddy, a columnist with the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, approximately 40 minutes into the flight, 3 of the hijackers stood up and put red bandanas around their heads. 2 of them forced their way into the cockpit. 1 took the loudspeaker microphone, unaware it could also be heard by air traffic controllers, and announced that someone had a bomb on board and the flight was returning to the airport. He told them he was the pilot, but spoke with an accent. Soon, however, the man with the apparent bomb strapped around his waist with a red belt ordered everyone, including the flight attendants, to sit down. It was a hijacking. The terrorist pulled the curtain between first class and coach, but not before Todd saw 2 people lying on the floor outside the closed cockpit door. A flight attendant later told Todd she thought they were pilot and co-pilot, perhaps dead. Beginning at about 9:20, various passengers managed to make cellular or in-flight telephone calls to family and friends telling of their plight. In so doing, they learned of the Holocaust enveloping the World Trade Center towers and the Pentagon hundreds of miles behind them. It didn't take them long to realize that the hijackers of their plane had similar plans. However, possibly unlike the passengers on the other flights, they had time to resist. At about 9:45, Todd Beamer made phone contact with Lisa Jefferson, a General Telephone electronics supervisor, and told her of the hijacking and related various details of what was happening. 2 of the hijackers were in the cockpit with the door locked behind them. The man with the bomb remained in the passenger section of the plane. "We are going down," he shouted at one point, then said in a calmer voice, "No, wait, we're coming back up. No, we're turning around." Later, he told Jefferson that several of the passengers had decided to jump the hijackers, beginning with the guy with the bomb. "I don't think we're going to get out of this thing. I'm going to have to go out on faith," Beamer said. "Will you pray with me?" They recited the Lord's Prayer, after which Todd said, "Jesus, help me." Then, after getting Jefferson to promise that she would call his family and tell them of his love for them, he turned away from the phone, leaving the line open. The last words Jefferson heard from him were, "Are you ready? Okay, let's roll." Officials say Flight 93 crashed at 9:58 a.m., but no one on the ground was hurt. Later, Lisa Beamer found this quote from Teddy Roosevelt in Todd's desk. "The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, who strives valiantly, who knows the great enthusiasm, the great devotions, and spends himself in a worthy cause. Who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid of them. The Lord your God will go ahead of you. He will neither fail nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31, verse 6.
Reading from the complete book of Christian heroes, over 200 stories of courageous people who suffered for Jesus, compiled by Dave and Neta Jackson. This is the Eternal Church of Jesus Christ, the record.